so I have to say, to be honest, I have been invited before. It's not that just now I was invited. What we've seen is that in the last period of time, particularly, there has been I mean, I have to be clear, Bangladesh has always been part of the UN human rights system. They are part of 8 of the 9 treaty bodies. They have been member of the Human Rights Council many times, and I know that they are trying to be a member soon as well. So they have been doing a lot of work, and they have been very active in promoting a lot of very important resolutions in the past. And they have been very active, as I said in my words as well, on climate change on the international level, not only in human rights, but in all levels. But what I think is important is that we not only am visiting here, and we have discussed a lot of issues with everyone, and we understand this is not one-time visit. That is, it means that we are opening. I mean, we're on this after this visit, we will be strengthening even more what we have been doing in the past in the different areas that we have discussed. And as I said before, there will be more than one special rapporteur coming. If I'm not, the next rapporteur will be the climate change and human rights. This is a new rapporteur, just started in March, and they have defined a lot of mandates that many of them are really in accordance to, I think, many of the concerns that that the Bangladeshi people has, and that today in the morning in the meeting with the youth, the students came about funding, about how to ensure that climate action does not undermines the economic stability of the countries, that they don't undermine the workforces of companies that may be importantly responsible for emission, etc. So I think that will be a very important visit. That will be will happen at the end of September, and if I'm not wrong, also will come the Special Rapporteur on Human Trafficking before the end of the year. So I would say we have been seeing an interest on the government to receive a lot of mandate holders of different, I mean, not only the High Commissioner, but also mandate holders on areas that are important into Bangladesh. On the issue of justice for Rohingyas, I would say that we were the first of all. I have to say that the human rights mechanism was the first to raise the alarm about the scale. First of all, of the then, I don't know if it was 2015 or 2014, the special envoy on Myanmar and Rohingya situation said that if nothing was done, this thing could get worse, and it could come into a possible violence and genocide. And that voice was not heard at that time for the international community, I have to say. And the Human Rights Council every year spoke about this, calling the international community, calling the Security Council to do something about it, because to prevent things from happening. Then came 2017, we know, all of us know what happened, but I have to say that we have all been warning about the persecution of Rohingyas for many years. And what did the Human Rights Council do? The Human Rights Council established, first of all, a commission of inquiry, who worked for some years, and who identified perpetrators, was a public mission, perpetrators of violence, etc., etc. But in order to be able to ensure justice, that's not enough. So it was created a double investigative mechanism on Myanmar, where there is a criminal investigation, where people who are doing this are people who are experts, that have been judges in other criminal investigations in Rwanda or in other or in the Balkans. So people who have experience. So they are doing right now a criminal investigation to try to identify perpetrators, to hold them accountable. But the other thing is that, of course, the cases are being brought to the ICC and to the ICJ, and there have been strong support for all these accountability processes. And also in the ICJ is following the Gambia's presentation. Because one of the problems that we have with the ICC is that Myanmar is not part of the ICC. Doesn't recognize the ICC. So in the ICJ, it's been seen, and there were some measures, interim measures asked for to stop violence against Rohingyas and so on, hasn't happened. But we have to say we have been raising our voices, we have been asking for justice, we have been asking for stop the violence, and we have created this investigative mechanism that will be able to have all the criminal investigation that will bring people to the perpetrators to be held accountable, and will have to face the justice, and they will bring justice to the Rohingyas. It was asked in terms of how Bangladesh has many challenges. One is climate change, the other are the Rohingyas, and probably many more. And of course, the speaker space is not as big as we could. In the case of the Rohingyas, I have to say though, that all the work done in the camps is thanks to, of course, the UN is there, but the financing is by donors, by countries.